Hello everybody and welcome back to the WHO Bulletin, a weekly Doctor Who news show over here on the George Sheard channel, which feels very, up my own arse, can't lie. It feels weird calling it the George Sheard channel even though it's been that for like a year and a bit. Welcome to the stream everyone. Hope you're having a lovely Tuesday so far, and I'm hoping to make it even better with tonight's little live stream extravaganza. We've got the standard, the 7 PM till 8 PM stream here on YouTube, followed by, of course, Twitch, playing Batman Arkham Asylum over on Twitch from 8 o'clock as well. So if you're new here and you don't usually do these things, we'll be over on Twitch immediately after this to play some Batman Arkham Asylum. Very excited about that. Love the game, been loving playing it on stream. But before we get into all that, and all the Doctor Who stuff, I guess, a warm welcome to the Underhenge, the Squire, Dr. Master Adam Hassel, and Mr. Scarlo, and whoever else is currently watching the stream. Please do feel free to say hello. I'd love to give you a quick shout out. Thank you for joining. I have to say, the Underhenge made me absolutely cackle before I started streaming, as I was setting up, reading probably the first person I've ever heard to be watching one of my live streams in a pub with a pizza and a pint, and I love that. I love that. But yeah, no, it's very exciting. It's been an exciting couple of weeks. Last week we had a very big live stream week. Before I get into all that though, I'm a bit lost on what my fucking light's doing. I can't lie. A little bit sort of mid there, and then there's like another light which is missing. So I'm gonna give it a minute. Get your questions in. I'm gonna read through chat in just a moment. But for the meantime, I want to work out what the hell this light is doing down here. Seems to be sort of falling over and not really doing anything. Can you see that? Can you see that? Not really. That's a bit shit. Maybe I shouldn't have a light down here at all. That's a bit pointless. That's a bit pointless. Doesn't seem to be working very well. I need to think of a better location for this light, because it's not doing much. Woo! There we go. I guess that works. It's blue! Get it? Oh, there we go. It's something in the background, isn't it? And the meat poster is also there. You can kind of see the meat poster. Not really, though. It's not really in frame very well. You can tell I've kind of had a bit of a rush day today. Today's been a busy one, and I have I'm going off very little energy, so we'll see how long this lasts, but I'm sure we'll make something of it. Finally catching one of these live. It's also quite sweet to know that as well. So that people are watching this not live, like people are actually watching the catch-ups of these live streams, which is really sweet, actually. I didn't think about that. I never thought anyone would want to do that. I certainly wouldn't, so love that. Love to hear that. Evening, everyone. Get my pot pie at the ready. Oh, you guys are so annoying. I haven't had a pot pie in weeks, but the one time I just found them, they were reduced, and I just thought, I'm probably not going to eat all of them, to be honest, because they're quite heavy. And they're not as good as they used to be. But it does give a familiar live stream taste when I can eat a pork pie on live stream. Have you watched One Day on Netflix? I really want to see Mbika Mod as the Doctor, and I have a feeling it's going to happen. I don't know who that is, and I've not seen One Day, no. Mbika Mod. I do recognise her. What's she been in? Oh, this is Going to Her. Oh, she was great in that. What's One Day? I don't know what One Day is. The first time I'm hearing about this. I'm so confused. What's going on here? Cute. No, I haven't seen that, but looks good. It's weird watching this enormous speed. Quicker than I've eaten my pizza, that's for sure. Hello, humans. Long time no see. wonder if he's finished the pie yet. Yeah, very funny. Welcome, Logan O'Hara. Brian Dahlia. Trek Matt. Welcome. What is a pork pie for us here in the States? It is, well, I've half eaten this one, but this is what a pork pie is. If you've ever had a sausage roll, it's a bit like that. It is, like, a small version of, like, pie pastry wrapped around a sort of little, cold pork gelatin thing. I also realise there's no music on in the background of the stream. I'm really not set up today, so am I? Sorry, guys. I'll get some music up in the background. I'm letting you all down today. I've been very busy. Who was here last week and who wasn't here last week? Please do tell me in the chat. Would love to know. Who was not here for last week's big stream and big announcement thing that I did? Because it's been a hell of a week, has to be said. So yeah. Play Mr. Blue Sky. If I had rights, I would. I love that song, but I haven't got the rights for that. Well, chicken pies would probably be... Well, I suppose chicken would probably work. Cold chicken, yeah. Macaroni pies are banging. I've never had a macaroni pie before. That sounds insane. Macaroni pie? Macaroni pie. Ooh! That does look quite good, actually. Look at that. Ooh. Why don't you call it macaroni cheese, like mac and cheese pie, as opposed to just macaroni pie? Like, cheese is quite a big factor in this dish, by the looks of it. Cool, though. That looks very nice. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It was cool, though. What the fuck? Twitter is mad. Yeah, there's this ridiculous fucking thing that came out, the Mirror celeb, putting out an article about Millie Gibson looking downcast as she's seen for first time since Doctor Who act. Any people who are reporting stories like that, go fuck yourself. It's just, what's the point? Like, articles like that are just designed to upset people, get at the people for doing something you don't even know they've done, you know. I wasn't here, but I think I seen the announcement on your socials. Good description of the pork pie. I never thought I would need explaining, as I thought everywhere has them. Will the Master / Misty return, says Train and Bus Gear. Hopefully not soon. I kind of don't want to see the Master for a little while. I kind of want to wait off. I don't really want to see those characters too often. I think we've seen a lot of them recently, and a bit too much in recent years. Obviously we had Missy in Series 10, then the Master in Series 12, and technically 13 if you include Power of the Doctor. I'm just kind of like, let's have a bit of a break before just inevitably recasting the Master again. Unless they bring back an old Master, I'm not interested, to be honest. Do you like plain pasta? I prefer it with stuff, but yeah. Good afternoon from, I don't know how to pronounce that, Des Moines, Iowa? Just getting here. Did I miss anything? Or are we just talking about pie? We are just talking about pie. You haven't missed a thing, my friend. What pie? It is funny to me that this has become a thing. I'm playing into the stereotype of the George Sheard pie stuff. No, there's not. That's a good question. I like that question from Mr. Scarlo. Will you personally be calling it Series 14 or Season 1? I will be calling it Season 1. Because that's what it is. Look, I understand the frustration, but like, think about how Classic Who fans felt in 2005. It's the same thing. It doesn't mean anything. It is literally just for the general audience, the broadcasters. You can call, you know, you can call Series 5 Season 27 if you want, you know. That's up to you. Series 5? Series 1? Fucking hell. You can call Eccleston Series Season 27 if you want, but you don't, because it's a new series and you grew up with that one, or you're more familiar with it being that. But It's not Series 14. It is if you want it to be Series 14, but the idea is that it's the same cut-off from Classic to New Who, from New Who to New Who, I guess. Because that's what it is. It's trying to be a fresh start, and I completely understand it. I've talked about this before. I don't get why people are so fixated on it. I get, old habits die hard, I suppose. For me, if I'm trying to get someone to watch Doctor Who, and I tell them, oh yeah, it's on Series 14, but it's brand new, you can watch it from here, and they don't believe you, no one fucking listens to that. If you get told about another TV show that's unlike Doctor Who, and you got told that it's on Series 14, you should start watching it, you're going to be like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. That's too much work, that's too much effort. I can't be bothered with that. That's too many episodes of a TV show. So no, not worth it. But I think it's a clear gap. The problem is the specials are kind of a mid gap, but the specials are what the TV movie was, I guess. It's not in either. I'm not having any more bot buys after this. I want to be able to keep chatting. That's true, but it is worth noting that to you it can still be Season 14 if you want it to be. It's only Season 1 for the general population on the DVDs and all that sort of thing. I'm sure for whatever version of the show that you collect on physical media, you'll be able to get a version of it that isn't like that. I remember when the Steelbooks came out, someone was selling like Steelbook spines with like a different Doctor Who logo on it or something, and it was just like, it did really well. Loads of people bought it because it's like cool. But I don't really mind. I don't really care about the politics of it. Gabriel Menchaca, or Chacha. Gallifrey 1 happened last week. I was there and had a blast. I'm glad. I'm very jealous in a way. I don't know if I'd ever go to Gallifrey 1 because it seems so far away. I mean, where is it held? I know it's in America, but I just don't know if I can justify the travel of it, you know? I mean, where is it based? That's the thing for me. It's so difficult to held each February in Los Angeles. See, again, it's like I've never even been to Los Angeles once. To go just for a Doctor Who convention, I think would be a bit of a stretch for me. You know, I like the idea of seeing Los Angeles for what it is. But you know, it's cool, I guess. I think it's really sick, and it seems to be one of the best Doctor Who conventions on the planet. I kind of wish Doctor Who would do a Star Wars Celebration-esque thing. I kind of wish they'd do something big and beefy and exciting. Like, I went to Star Wars Celebration in the UK with the co-host of my podcast, Cooper, who we went to Star Wars Celebration last year, and I have my criticisms of it, but for the most part, it was really good, and I really enjoyed my time there. And it was a very big, exciting event where they announced loads of stuff. If they did that for Doctor Who, for fans, that would be a sellout. People would go. I'd go to that. Yeah. You show exclusive trailers and announce new projects at this a big convention hall thing. It can be a sort of mix between an official fan club and a BBC thing. They did Doctor Who Festival a couple years, way back when, but they're not since, you know. Do something in London, you know, or do something in Cardiff where it's the whole Doctor Who thing, you know. People will do it. That will sell out, that event. Just try it, you know. Do something like that. Show your trailers for the first time at a Doctor Who event. If you can't do Comic-Con and you're just going to do an online launch, do your own convention to launch it and announce it, and bring on cast members and crew members to announce new projects, spin-offs, big finish panels, comic panels. It's like Star Wars in the way that it has got a multi-medium thing. It's not that big. Which episode of Season 1 are you most excited for? The Beatles one, I'm very excited for. I think it's going to be really good. And I'm a big fan of the Beatles. Love the Beatles. I'm very excited to see what they do with that. Whether they make it a bit campy and a bit cheesy, or whether they go all in and it's actually incredible. I'm excited for the inevitable TARDIS episode that's going to be somewhat weird. We know there's a story at some point which is going to bounce off the back of that, reading the Wild Blue Yonder script, which came out recently thanks to the BBC writers area on their website. The script of that details that the TARDIS had something else going wrong with it, but that won't be it's not to be worried about now, but maybe in the future, kind of implying that there's going to be some sort of TARDIS story. And then also Russell T Davies said in the commentary for The Giggle that there is an episode in season 1 which is a very definitive proof that Ncuti's TARDIS is the same TARDIS that has always been in the show. And those two things combined would lead me to believe there's going to be some sort of TARDIS episode, whether it's like a Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS style thing, or whether it's another thing altogether. A TARDIS episode would be great. I love TARDIS episodes. I love The Doctor's Wife. Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, okay, not amazing, but cool in a certain respect. I kind of wish Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS was just the Doctor and Clara. I feel like it would have been a lot more interesting, just them two. But yeah, I think it's cool, and I think the idea is cool, and I think the idea of seeing more of the TARDIS is really exciting, so we'll have to wait and see with that one, but yeah. It's sick, I love it. I wonder if we'll see old console rooms. I kind of hope not. I don't need to go like on a trip down nostalgia lane, but I'm kind of interested to see like what they do with the interior of the TARDIS. Like the TARDIS, this is the thing that I don't get. It's like not everything needs to be. And I'm not saying this is like a criticism of what you said there. Like I love the idea of seeing old console rooms. I was ecstatic as a kid watching The Doctor's Wife and seeing Tennant's TARDIS again. I was ecstatic in the Series 6 trailer when you see Tennant's TARDIS and there's no context. But yeah, in the episode itself, absolutely brilliant. I'm really excited to see them in there. But I think for me, I would really like to see. I guess how else would you prove the TARDIS the same TARDIS? You can do a lot of things with it. I'm not saying that that's. They probably will do something like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just sort of pitching kind of my ideal TARDIS story would be something of like a horror, a bit like Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, but a bit better handled. It's this infinite like being and creature which is sort of weaved in like millions of infinite hallways and rooms, and it's just sick. It's such a great idea. Like how. I don't know, I think the Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS made it feel like a very real, tangible thing that you could just walk around in, whereas I feel like there's so much more that could be done with that concept. With Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, it feels like they went down a couple of flights of stairs and then they were at the heart of the TARDIS, whereas actually I think it would be cooler to see a full episode that explores that and doesn't waste time with the whole thing of like, oh, a salvage crew and this and that and side stories and all that sort of thing. A simple basic horror between a Doctor and companion in the TARDIS that's trapped, I think would be really, really cool. But you can't obviously knock off Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, you can't knock off any other stuff. But Classic Who did loads of TARDIS-centric stories, and I think a lot of them are kind of cool as an idea. I just love the idea of it, and I think like there's so much that can be done with a concept like that, and I'm hoping Russell will do something really exciting and different with it. They didn't really have the ability to do that back in Tennant's era, because there's just money and sets and stuff, and you can't really show how amazing and grand a TARDIS is, whereas now you can. You've got a gorgeous console room, but can we see more of the TARDIS, please? Yeah, and let's talk about that. Let's talk about the release date. So, obviously we know it's coming out in May. Disney Plus have confirmed that. The BBC have confirmed that. Russell's confirmed that. So a lot of people were theorising when exactly in May is that going to be. So, if we look towards May, we have 4 possible days where it could launch. It's obviously going to be on a Saturday. That seems to be what they're going for. It's going to be tied with a lot of stuff. Saturday the 4th of May is Star Wars Day. Now, that could either be a really good thing or a really bad thing for Doctor Who if they decide to launch on that day. I believe it's also a bank holiday. I think it's a bank holiday Monday, the 6th. 6th of May? Is it? Yeah, bank holiday. May bank holiday. Which would make sense to launch a new series of Doctor Who on a bank holiday weekend. So Saturday, 4th of March would actually be quite a good one. However, obviously it's Star Wars Day, so do they want to conflict with Star Warsy stuff? I'm not too sure. It's a good question. It's a good question, though. I would also argue that there was another reason as well. So then you've also got the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th. Now, given previous circumstance, I would guess that they're probably going to pitch it towards the end of the month. But maybe they will start it on the bank holiday weekend. It would make the most sense. But you're right about exams as well. When is exam season? (2024). When is exam season? Monday, 6th of May, and finish on Friday, 21st of June. So basically, yeah, that would be the best time to do it. You can't really start it any later than that, I guess. 4th, again, stands out. I know a lot of people talk about taking on Star Wars Day, but actually, to be fair, Star Wars never tends to release anything that big on Star Wars Day. Sometimes they'll launch a new show or whatever, but there's nothing really in the pipeline to be released then. I think maybe the Bad Batch finale is going to be around then. When is the fucking ending of Bad Batch? Because that's the newest thing. There's never an easy answer on Google, is there? There's never an easy answer. It's always a pain in the arse. For fuck's sake, I can't find a single thing about it. May 1st, 2024 will be the final episode of Bad Batch. So it's unlikely that they'll launch a new show around Star Wars weekend. It's ending with the Bad Batch. There'll probably be a few announcements on Star Wars Day, but that's probably it. Also, it's Disney and Disney Plus, and Doctor Who is something that they're really apparently going to be pushing a lot. So I kind of feel like, would they put it alongside Star Wars? Would they not move it to the 11th or the 18th or the 25th? Because as much as I love, the idea of doing it earlier, like it coming out on the 4th, I lose faith in it simply because of Disney Plus. If Disney Plus are going to give Doctor Who the best launch possible, I think they're going to be putting a lot of content out on Star Wars Day. It's a much bigger, well-known thing, May the 4th, than the launch of Doctor Who will, a new series of Doctor Who will be, potentially. If Disney Plus can prioritise one, then they'll prioritise Star Wars Day. I kind of feel like if we're going to get the big massive Disney boost that we have all heard about mysteriously, the Doctor Who's going to be getting around the airing of the new series, I kind of feel like it would have to be later than that. 11th, 18th, 25th, one of those Saturdays I think would probably make more sense to give Doctor Who the best chance possible. Or do you launch it on Disney Plus on Star Wars Day when everyone's going to be on Disney Plus and they see there's a new episode of Doctor Who on there? I don't know. There's all these things to discuss and think about. I bet they're kicking themselves that the Saturday, the 4th of May is a Saturday this time. But it is. Nothing really can be done about that. But that's my thought process on it. I'm kind of thinking that would make sense, given it's a bank holiday weekend, given the Star Wars Day cross-promotion idea, but if they want to avoid that, then they'll go later. But I think it'd be good to start 4th of May. The only reason it's starting in May and not January anyway is because of the visual effects stuff that wasn't quite finished, and Russell wanted to give it a bit more time, which I completely respect, and I'm actually personally very happy about. I think having a gap between these specials and the season is really good. They're a blast. They usually have one Doctor, many companions, villains, writers, directors, showrunners, Doctors 5, 6 and 7, and many great companions and more. Great cosplay. Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of love behind the Gallifrey 1 convention, honestly. Oh, Eurovision. That's the other one. You're spot on. Yeah, Eurovision. Eurovision is Tuesday 7th of May to Saturday 11th. So Saturday 11th is the main one. So Saturday 11th, again, would be really good for Doctor Who to cross-promote with Eurovision. You could put Doctor Who on before Eurovision starts and you'd probably get a lot of viewers off the back of it. That would potentially be a really good idea. However, will they do it? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's an interesting one, isn't it? So you've got the Star Wars Day. I think the 11th would make the most sense because you're getting out of the way of Star Wars Day. You're not cross-promoting with another bigger brand. you give Disney Plus enough time to sort of throw their Star Wars stuff out there the week before, and then they can ramp up the whole week to promote Doctor Who. And then on the BBC, Doctor Who would come out before Eurovision, which means everyone would be sat down in front of their TVs anyway. You could watch Doctor Who, and then Eurovision would start. Any viewership that's tuning in just before Eurovision will catch the end of Doctor Who. It would be a great sort of cross-promotion. Let's not forget that last Eurovision we had the trailer for the episode titles come out before Eurovision. That was a massive thing that came out last year, which announced the Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder and the Giggle. That's something that they did, and that was before Eurovision, so it's not out of character for the BBC to cross-promote with such a massive show. But then, do you lose the hype around the episode airing if you've got such a massively watched show immediately after? I don't know. I honestly don't really know. I don't know what the crack is there, and whether that'll be damaging for the brand, whether that'll be damaging for the first episode, or whether it'll be a good idea, or whether it's something that they'll actually want to do. I genuinely don't know. I couldn't tell you. This is all theorising and all a little bit of fun, and just kind of trying to think about what you think. A lot of people are kind of mixed on when they think it's going to be. I personally think the 11th, but 25th would be funny, as the 60th started on the 25th, and obviously the Christmas special was on the 25th. So again, it could be that, but there's less riding on it. I kind of feel like they would do it... I don't know. I feel like they should do it at a different time, but I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I feel like the 11th with Eurovision would make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. I think Doctor Who, then Eurovision would be great promotion, cross-promotion for the BBC. Or do you do it on the 18th and then promote the trailer for Doctor Who before and during the Eurovision event, whenever it cuts to a break or anything like that? You could be promoting the shit out of Doctor Who on that Saturday. I don't know. I don't know. I think it should be April. Yeah, I do think it should be April as well, but I kind of like that it's lingering. We got to watch Under the Lake before the rest of America. A theatre full of Whovians and actual Doctor Who creators. I asked Victor Pemberton, writer and creator of the Sonic Screwdriver, what he thought of it. Oh, that's cool that they air stuff a bit early. That's really sick. Personally think 11th. Oh dear. Personally think 11th, but 25th would be funny. Yeah, I've already read that one out. Oh, hey, dear me. So something that I would like to just kind of give a little quick mention to, for those who weren't already aware, and I'm not going to waffle on about it too much, but I am relatively excited about it, as it only happened last week. I have a podcast, guys, like a new one, with a mate of mine, Cooper Britton. We are co-hosting a podcast together, very, very excited about it, and would really love if you guys went and checked it out. I'll put a link to it in the chat. There is a whole episode out there already, and there'll be a brand new episode this Thursday. Every Thursday there's going to be a new episode, but this Thursday is going to be a Star Warsy one. We'll definitely be talking about Doctor Who at some point. That's something that will happen, don't you worry. But, yeah. Please do go and check that out, obviously. We're really passionate about it, we're really excited about it, and something that I've been really excited to get off the ground. You know what I'm like with podcasts. I know I do have a lot of them in the past, but I haven't done one for a couple of years. I haven't done one for 2 or 3 years, and it's something that I think when Cooper brought up and I talked to him about it, we were both so passionate about it and loved the thought process and the energy behind it. We were both really excited about bringing this out and putting it out there, and it's doing really well. A lot of people are really connecting with it. A lot of people are following it, watching it, listening to it, and also as well, they are getting us into the Spotify charts, which I thought was amazing. That I saw the other day is that the Nostalgia Bait, our podcast, which was linked in the chat, actually somehow made it to 36 on the Spotify UK Film and TV podcast chart, which is a long title, I know, but yeah, that's incredible for a brand new show with one episode to get up to that level, to even be anywhere near the top 50, never mind 36, is genuinely incredible, and I'm super, super proud of what we've managed to do. So if you haven't already checked it out, I would really, really love if you click on that link, pop over to Spotify, give us a follow, and if you've listened to an episode, give us a 5-star review. Not that it doesn't hurt, it would be great. If you don't have Spotify, you can also check out the new episodes on YouTube. on my channel, I will quickly show you all, because I want to just kind of promote this a little bit. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something that I'm making every single week. Oh, great. Nice one, George. You're really just showing off your entire channel here. Podcasts. There's a little podcast menu, and you can see Doctor Who reviews down here, which obviously love a Doctor Who review. It's got all my Doctor Who reviews. It's not technically a podcast, but YouTube's podcast thing is kind of fancy. But every Doctor Who review I've done in recent years, let's say, is linked in this playlist for you to be able to see. There's a lot of stuff in there, including some Who bulletins as well, for when I haven't actually done full episode reviews. So yeah, and then also Spill Your Beans, which is an older podcast of mine from back in the day, which again, very proud of, very much loved, but kind of just lost momentum for. It's hard to host things yourself, honestly. It's hard to host a podcast yourself where you need a different guest every time. That's why I love Nostalgia Bait, because me and Cooper have known each other for so long. We've worked on so many projects together, and this is something that I'm genuinely just really excited about showing off and kind of getting you guys there. Now, this episode is live on the channel already. You can probably see it just here on the channel, but every week we're going to kind of unlist them, but you can still listen to them in the podcast section here on the channel. You can check it out there, which is really nice. But in the meantime, obviously, would prefer you jump over to Spotify and have a look on there. But it's also available on every other podcast network that you can think of: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, whatever else, Spotify obviously. But yeah, please do go and check it out. Give us a little 5-star review if you haven't already. You can have to do that on your phone apparently, but there you go. Drop us a follow, give it a listen. We've got new episodes every single Thursday. I'm very, very excited about it. So if you did miss that announcement last week, please do go and check it out. Just remind yourself to do it later or something if you want. The episode of season 1 I'm most excited for is the one with Roger. Is it Gwilliam or Dwilliam or just William? I feel bad mispronouncing it because I genuinely don't know. Really intrigued to see what his character's about. Me too. Seems like some sort of interesting politician character. That'll be dead interesting. Not sure about that one. But everything I've seen of the guy, as far as Doctor Who filming is concerned, promo images are concerned, he looks like quite a menacing, interesting character. So yeah. I used to do my maths homework to Spill Your Beans, the Doctor Who episode reviews. That's sick. I really like that because it's sort of weird for me because I did enjoy doing Spill Your Beans, don't get me wrong, but it was sort of something I lost motivation with very quickly and very easily, which booted my mic. But I really, yeah, it's something that I really appreciate, people jumping on. Podcasts is a bit of a very different medium to YouTube, but it's the one that I'll be updating regularly. A lot of people are sort of worried that I might just drop off it, but because I'm co-hosting it, it's a lot easier to kind of keep up, a lot easier to stay motivated with it, and there'll be new episodes pretty much every single Thursday for the foreseeable future. We've got episodes recorded, edited, planned well ahead of time. So yeah, definitely check it out. Please give us a bit of support on that. We'd really appreciate it. Obviously we're here every week as well. And yeah, I want to know who Susan Twist is. Well, she's going to be important, isn't she? We already know that because what was the script revealed it or something. Sorry about that. Oh. Yeah. Oh god. Jesus. It's gonna go again. Sneezing fit on live stream. Absolutely fantastic. Everyone loves to see that. What was I saying? Yeah, they released the Doctor Who scripts for the 60th anniversary, and they released the Church on Ruby Road script, and it actually has a line about Mrs. Merridew or Susan Twist or whatever, which is really annoying because obviously it was going to be the case. Obviously, like, Susan Twist was going to end up being something. It was all but confirmed at this point. The problem is, I don't want to find out about it in a script. I wanted to see it on screen. If it's going to spoil something in a script for a previous episode, then hide it. It just annoys me. Oh, what is it? Church on Ruby Road. Where is it? BBC script library. Annoying. 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 Yeah, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who. They even released the 15th Doctor audition piece, which I thought was really cool. Let's have a look at this. So this is the bridge. Interesting, let's call that. Prince Ali from Aladdin is interesting. Didn't know that was supposed to be in there. But you get a lot of information and a lot of detail, and that's fine. That's really good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love seeing the detail in the scripts, and it is really interesting. Yeah. The baby wrapped in a blanket. Cute church clock in the snow. Minus 12. You get a lot of interesting stuff here. The woman walks away and never looks back. She walks towards the houses, not noticing a police box. What shot? So heavier than ever. The police box opens, the lights spilling out, the doctor watches her walk away. Cue to the doctor. Interesting that it's not named that the narrator would be the doctor in this scene, which I thought was really interesting. You got the whole Davina McCall scene. Here you go. A woman in the crowd. A woman we've seen as Mrs. Merridew in Special 2. A woman we'll see a lot more of. Yells, "Give it some welly." Alright, I said sorry, okay? Give us a bit of Steal Life Span. Can you do Godet? Like, this is fine, right? This annoys me. That this has been fucking revealed in a script. It's so stupid. I mean, look, I get it, it's fine, people are like, this is really cool, it all but confirms what we already knew, but we didn't already know it because it was a fan theory. By putting it here, it confirms 100% that that is going to happen. Like, we knew that in Flux, they'd touch upon the Timeless Child and the Division at some point. We knew kind of that the Ruth Doctor was going to be in it, but like, if you'd been told that that was going to happen, that would be really fucking annoying. And it annoys me that in the script that they've publicly revealed, it says that, I mean, that's fine. As a script note, as a writing perspective, absolutely fine. Makes complete sense. Complete sense. Because that's an important detail that you need in a script. Especially when you're planning out a TV show like this. But it annoys me because it's like, that was like a dumb fan theory that was going to be something. Maybe, maybe not. And it's just there for us all to see. So, yes, it's intentionally supposed to be the same woman who was cast as Mrs. Merridew in Special 2 in the opening scene, and a woman we'll see a lot more of. We're going to see more of her, so that is important, it is relevant, and that kind of, I guess, just annoys me a little bit. I wonder if it says anything about here. It's a glorious day. So there's not really much about Mrs. Merridew there. Interesting. Amazing. You got the 15th Doctor audition piece, which I think is really cool. Worth having a read if you haven't already had a read of it. It's very cool. It's very different. Your random sort of companion, Robin. But really cool. And you can imagine Ncuti performing this, which is really exciting. You got Robin, who's a random character, brand new random character, the Doctor, and a random companion towards the end. Children in Need specials on there as well. Really cool, really exciting. Yeah. Jonas Castavillian, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's it's intentional. It does the trick of what it's supposed to be. I'll be interested to read this. Actually, I'm just getting into this now. I'm just kind of interested to see how the bi-regeneration was written. You also got the catch scene towards the end, which is quite funny. The new Doctor. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Catch, 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 catch. There's the catching scene. I kind of love this. Let's have a look. Here we go. I thought I came back to this body for a reason and found you, but why? It's interesting that in the original script, he's questioning a lot more about what's going on. Just mend yourself and come back fighting fit, because the whole world needs you more than ever. Here we go again. Alonzi, a sad laugh. He takes a deep breath and then wait. Nope. Still the glow, the energy, but what's happening? You pull. He stands there, they rise with him, pull each way. Pull, and the doctor splits in half. Just his top half. No blood, no ripping, no pain. It's like an amoeba separating, all surrounded by a golden glow and sharing one pair of legs. Both halves now lean back a bit, the doctor looking at the new, young, happy doctor. And always described as the happy doctor as well. By generation. Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I love like a lot of the way this is like detailed from a script perspective. I think it's just really interesting. I think it's really nicely written. I think Russell's a really talented writer who really sells you when you're reading it. You can just kind of hear how passionate like the scene descriptions are. I think it's so interesting. Let's have a look. I love Doctor Who podcasts. It's like having a conversation with people about the show. Yeah, what is behind her character? What does she want? Her purpose? I think Meddling Monk. I think Meddling Monk as well. I genuinely think it's Meddling Monk, but yeah, I kind of love that. I can't lie. That's not a bad thing in my eyes. Meddling Monk is a really cool, little, interesting character, and the idea of having like a Time Lord that just kind of messes about for no reason, not really like causing much harm. I think it's just, well, I know I say that, but what I mean is it's not like evil out and out. But someone who's just like an interesting character who's a bit different and not just the Master again, you know. Other Time Lords is an exciting concept that Doctor Who hasn't done much with. Daleks, Doctor Who at its best core. Glad to see that Mrs. Flood has involvement in Season 2. She'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I saw that again. Disappointed that that's leaking though. I'm kind of sick of seeing stuff that's just leaking stuff ahead of time. I know, we all know Mrs. Flood was going to be important. We all know Mrs. Merridew is going to be important. But like, now it's confirmed. It's like, well, what have I got to look forward to? Obviously the reveal of what they are, who they are. But like, I was invested in the sort of daft fan theory side of it because when it actually happened, it was really cool. It's like Sacha Dhawan playing the Master. That was a stupid fan theory that no one people kind of believed, and then no one really believed. And then the episode came out, and he was in it, and he was a normal character. And then so even though there was rumours, it was never confirmed that he was the Master, even though people kind of knew. And that lack of confirmation allows you to be fucking surprised when it happens. Peter Cushing Dalek films are on all 4. Interesting. Trying to figure out if I classify the Church and Ruby Road as either the last episode of season 41 or the first episode of season 42. Such a dilemma. I think it's the beginning of a new season, isn't it? Because it ends, she gets her coat, and it ends, and they're wearing the same outfits that they were in episode 1, so it's obviously going to lead directly into episode 1. So I think it must be a direct follow-on. It must be part of the same batch. I wouldn't include it as part of the specials or part of Jodie's era or anything. We didn't get told Aswok was Tecteon. I don't know what that is. They should have redacted it, add more mystery to the fandom, guessing what things have been cut out. But even if you redact it, then it's going to be just thing. They released these scripts to the public on the BBC archive. They very easily could have just removed that little bit about seeing her more often, or seeing it's the same character from episode 2. There's no need for it, really. I'd love to see the companion audition script if there was one. Would have loved it if he actually did just rip in half and they killed off the Doctor. That's morbid, but I kind of love it. 5-year-old Henry in the backseat, Mrs. Flood is the Rani, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's also true. It's like one of those things, every time there's like a mysterious female character, it's always the Rani. Mrs. Flood's an interesting one. As is, I think Susan Twist and Mrs. Merridew, that interests me more than Mrs. Flood does, because Mrs. Flood is so much more obvious and in your face, but I'm more excited about this sort of weird other mystery hidden character. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. We're going to wrap this up here, I think. As I said, please do give us a follow over on Spotify if you can. Would really, really appreciate it. As I say, trying to grow this podcast, trying to make it the best it possibly can be, and any support on that would be greatly appreciated. We've got new episodes every Thursday. They're only an hour long, so not going to take up too much of your day. Something fun you can listen to, and I'd love to hear any feedback. If you have listened to it, please let me know on Twitter, tag me, tell me what you think. And I genuinely mean this. I'm not just saying this as like, oh yeah, give me interactions. Please do tell me what you think. I would absolutely love to hear it. We would love any sort of feedback. And yeah, right now we're going to be going over to Twitch. So if you fancy joining us over there, we're going to be playing some Batman Arkham Asylum. If you're not familiar with how these whole things work, we stream on YouTube for a little bit, and then we go over to twitch.tv/georgesheard, my lovely little Twitch account, which I'll also link in chat for you to go and head over and see. But yeah, head over there. Drop me a follow over there if you fancy as well, and immediately after this stream finishes, we're going to be going live over on Twitch, which will be pretty much right now. So keep an eye out for it, and we're going to be playing a lot of fun Batman stuff this evening, which I'm very, very excited about. So stay tuned, and I will see you all in a few minutes. Thank you for watching. See you all later. Bye-bye.